These aren't just niceties. I make no apology for demanding, in your name, in the name of the Constitution, that the rights to due process guaranteed under the Constitution are adhered to in a process as serious as this in our national lives. The denial of due process in this case, of course, starts with the House of Representatives. In this unprecedented snap impeachment process, the House of Representatives denied every attribute of fundamental constitutional due process that Americans correctly have come to believe is part of what makes this country so great. How and why did that happen? It is a function of the insatiable lust for impeachment in the House for the past 4 years. Consider this.
Donald Trump, who I may well be voting to impeach.
Donald Trump has already done a number of things which legitimately raise the question of impeachment.
I don't respect this president, and I will fight every day until he is impeached.
That is grounds to start impeachment proceedings. Those are grounds to start impeachment. Those are grounds to start impeachment proceedings. Yes, I think that's grounds to start impeachment proceedings.
I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America.
I continue to say, impeach him! Impeach!
If you're a political enthusiast, then you need to hear this. The current state of American politics is more volatile than ever, and the mechanisms that are supposed to safeguard democracy are being tested to their limits. The impeachment of Donald Trump has shaken up American democracy. These proceedings are not just legal formalities, they have far-reaching implications for the political landscape and the rule of law. The two impeachment trials of Donald Trump have exposed alarming cracks in the impeachment process. These cases serve as a stark reminder that the integrity of democratic institutions is fragile and can be easily compromised. In the first impeachment, Trump was charged with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The rapid-fire process, triggered by allegations of soliciting foreign interference in the 2020 election, raised serious due process concerns. The speed and manner in which these proceedings were conducted left many questioning the fairness and legitimacy of the entire process. In the second impeachment, Trump faced charges of incitement of insurrection following the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. These proceedings were not just a legal battle, but a political showdown that captivated the nation. Critics argue these charges were politically motivated, bypassing standard judicial procedures. The allegations and the subsequent impeachment process have left a cloud of doubt over the country's political future. Both cases highlight a disturbing trend: impeachment processes used as political tools, undermining constitutional principles. This misuse of power not only destabilizes the current government, but also sets a dangerous precedent for future administrations. These impeachments pose significant dangers to the stability of the presidency and due process, leading to a constitutional crisis. The very foundation of democracy is at risk when impeachment is wielded as a weapon rather than a last resort.
Impeach 45!
So we're calling upon the House to begin impeachment hearings immediately.
On the impeachment of Donald Trump, would you vote yes or no?
I would vote yes. I would vote to impeach.
Because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the motherfucker.
But the fact is, I introduced articles of impeachment in July of 2017.
If we don't impeach this president, he will get reelected.
My oath requires me to be for impeachment, have an impeachment hearing, and he's the scarlet eye on his chest.
The representatives should begin impeachment proceedings against this president.
It is time to bring impeachment charges against him. Bring impeachment charges.
My personal view is that he richly deserves impeachment.
I'm here at an impeachment rally, and we are ready to impeach the...
The relevant timeline in the House reveals the rush to judgment. On the day following the January 6th riot, the House leadership cynically sensed a political opportunity to score points against the outgoing then-President Trump. And the Speaker demanded that Vice President Pence invoke the 25th Amendment, threatening immediate impeachment for the President if Mr. Pence did not comply with this extraordinary and extraordinarily wrong demand. 4 days later, on January 11th, 2021, the instant article of impeachment was introduced in the House. Speaker Pelosi then gave the Vice President another ultimatum, threatening to begin impeachment proceedings within 24 hours if he did not comply. Vice President Pence rejected Speaker Pelosi's demand, favoring instead adherence to the Constitution and the best interests of the nation over a politically motivated threat. On January 12th, Speaker Pelosi announced who the 9 impeachment managers would be, and on January 13th, 2021, just days after holding a press conference to announce the launching of an inquiry, the House adopted the article of impeachment, completing the fastest impeachment inquiry in history and according President Trump no due process at all, over strong opposition based in large part on the complete lack of due process. To say there was a rush to judgment by the House would be a grave understatement. It is not as if the House members who voted to impeach were not mightily warned about the dangers to the institution of the presidency and about our system and to our system of due process. They were warned in the strongest of terms from within their own.
It's a stark reminder that the integrity of democratic institutions must be protected, even in the most turbulent political climates. The health of a democracy depends on the fairness and transparency of its processes. As citizens, we must remain vigilant and hold our leaders accountable to ensure that the principles of justice and democracy are upheld. The future of our democratic institutions depends on it. Even in the most turbulent political climates, the stakes are high and the consequences of failure are too great to ignore. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest in political drama.